Oh, we had tremendous challenges. It chewed up all of my resources, and it made it so that I didn't have enough processing power left on my machine, and it was just becoming a struggle. Turns out it was not really the MacBook, and I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube, but it turns out it was Google Drive.
Welcome back
To Everyone Has a Story, True Tales from Everyday Life.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Kelly.
This is our 1-year anniversary. Happy birthday. We're having a lot of good time today. We have a lot of things to share with you, some wonderful stories about what's happened this last year, and some things to talk to you about coming up in the future. So where do we start, Kel?
Well, first place to start is we're so glad you're here. We really appreciate you tuning in to watch this episode. We are so excited. There were some times when we weren't sure we were going to make it to the 1-year mark, but we have persisted. And we are here. Our actual 1-year anniversary is Saturday, July 8th, 2023, and we are excited for you to be celebrating this with us.
Let's go to the details, Kel.
Absolutely. Well, we had talked about starting a YouTube channel for about 6 months or so before we actually did it. And we have been saying for years, as we travel, as we go through our business, everyone has a story. We meet so many interesting people. And we love to talk to people, and we love to hear what their story is, because you can't meet a single person without knowing that there's something to their background that you would never guess unless you just took the time to talk to them. It wasn't until we actually started discussing starting a YouTube channel that we decided to blend that idea with Everyone Has a Story, and why not make a channel? So we decided to take stories from our latest book, Grandma Was a Kitchen Healer and Grandpa Grew Roses, to start putting those stories, I guess giving life to those stories in a video format. And you'll see the videos at the very beginning of the channel. We were camera shy. We didn't have our faces on the camera. We were reading the stories verbatim from our book. And I was doing all of the video work of, gathering all of these images and video clips to try to bring this story to life. And it was a monumental task, I can tell you.
We really didn't know which way we were going to go.
Right.
So we just had to stumble along. It was a steep learning curve, and we had a lot of things to understand about production in our home, which is a lot different than producing in a studio. And we also had to learn YouTube ways, and that was crazy.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was a really steep learning curve too. We'd never uploaded any videos to YouTube and didn't know what the rules were and the ways of things. And yeah, that was I'd been doing some video editing before for us. I had done our book trailer, which you may have seen on the channel, and for our speaking engagements, I had done our intro video.
Right.
And so I had some experience with Premiere Pro. I have experience in graphic design, but this was a whole nother level of producing, well, first we were trying to produce, I don't know, like 3 videos a week or something like that.
Insane.
Oh my God. And we quickly realized that we couldn't sustain that. There was no way that we could make that happen. So we settled on 1 feature video a week. We hadn't even touched shorts yet. And even that was a learning curve of trying to figure out, how do we put this together and get a process, I guess, for lack of a better word, of doing this week after week after week.
I got to interject this also. Kelly has the best MacBook that you could buy at the time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it was choking so much data that she was trying to put into it that it just wasn't happening. So
we'll get to that story a little bit later, but
figure that one out. Yes. Okay. So I guess we shifted.
Yeah, then we started, well, I should say Jim decided that we should not be so camera shy, and that we should really be establishing a relationship with all of you with our faces on camera. And I was really reluctant to do that. That is our 6-month-old kitten.
He is adorable.
We have 3 cats in the house. You're probably going to see them around here. We've got a really laid-back, golden-eyed, beige-colored tabby that is just we call him the tender heart. He's so sweet. His name is Luca. And then we have the old girl, Claudette, and she just turned 11, and she's crabby. She doesn't want anyone to mess with her. She just wants to sleep and just be left alone. And then we have this 6-month-old kitten named Figaro, who is into everything. He is like a human 2-year-old, and you have to be watching him constantly. So that's the background of the kitty cats in the house. So around, I don't know when it was, around October-ish, something like that, we started narrating the video entirely with face on camera. And our views went up.
They sure did. Because the views went up, we were excited and you know, we're encouraged, Kel.
Right, and we kind of started to see the path to getting to the original plan in the first place, which was that we wanted to interview other people. We wanted this to be an interview channel talking to everyday people with incredible stories to tell. And so we were in California last October, visiting a couple of your friends from your Hollywood days. And
while we were there, we shot 2 videos of a remarkable lady, Diana Hellrigger. But it was an exciting turnaround. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to interview you, the people who are out there, the everyday people. That's what our channel is all about.
Right.
And so
that was the plan all along.
And it was going well until February.
February happened. We had a fabulous business retreat up in the mountains in Arizona. We had this great plan of how we were going to make all of this happen, and we were going to bring out the interview with Diane, and we had a huge list of everyone that we had been wanting to interview for so long. And then somewhere around the end of February, as I was editing these videos in earnest, we talked about the MacBook, started having problems. Turns out it was not really the MacBook, and I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube, but it turns out it was Google Drive. And it chewed up all of my resources, and it made it so that I didn't have enough processing power left on my machine, and it was just becoming a struggle. So if you go back, you'll see that there was like a 3-week dearth, is that the word? Yeah. Of videos, like the vacuum of nothing. And then just as I was starting to get that under control, I went in for a routine cap on one of my molars. They couldn't do a root canal, they couldn't do anything, and then I was told I had to have a tooth extracted, and it just turned out to be awful. So then there was more time where videos couldn't get done, and February just kind of came and went in this. Oh, we had tremendous challenges.
It was cacophony in a negative way. But finally March came around, so we did get our world back together.
Right.
And we made our first introductory video, a joint video,
yes,
you and me, like we're doing right now. And we're going to do this a lot more in the future. We want you to be involved in it. So we started by interviewing each other, and then
the views went up again. So this was really exciting. And when we're talking about views going up, we're not talking about they went like from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. We're not there yet. But they went up. And they went up noticeably, and so this was really encouraging for us that we were actually on the road to what we had always wanted to do with this channel. And most importantly, because it's not about us, it's about you. You were enjoying it, and that made us really happy.
And now we're off, and we're not looking back.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And your response to the change has been really exciting and welcome. And We can't do it without you. We keep telling you that, but we can't do it without you. Even today, I'm going to ask you, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And give us a thumbs up and ring that bell so you know what's going on in Everyone Has a Story, True Tales from Everyday Life. Back from the commercial.
So then on a personal note, during all of this happening, we kind of hinted at this already, we've been doing some really exciting travel, and it has lent us quite some opportunities to meet really interesting people. We have, let's see, last October we were in California and Mexico.
Right.
And then at the end of last year, around the holidays, we took this trip of a lifetime to South America to see the Panama Canal. Then in April, we were back in California to take a one-way cruise from California to Alaska. We went back to Ohio for a couple weeks, and we got 4 interviews done while we were back home in Ohio. If you're not aware, I'm from the Cleveland area, Northern Ohio.
And I'm from Southern Ohio, down in the Portsmouth area, right on the river.
Yeah, so we got some great interviews from that trip, and you've seen some of them already, and there's a couple more coming down the pike.
You know, if any of you have any ideas or suggestions for the channel, or people to interview, or even yourself, please reach out and contact us. Send us an email at thekeepers@wawan.org. That's thekeepers with an S, and it's WEWAN.org. We would love to hear from you, and let's talk.
So let's talk a little bit about our plans for season 2.
Yes, it's about time, isn't it? Okay. And this season 2 is going to be about you.
Here's just some of the things that we're talking about. You may see some changes in our scheduling as we're trying new ideas, and we're looking for ways to connect with you in a deeper way, in a more personal way here on YouTube, so that you get to know us and we can build that relationship with you. But you know, we still have so many of our own stories to tell you, because for those of you who know us personally and will get to know us personally, things are always an adventure with us. We can't seem to go anywhere without some crazy thing happening, or we get ourselves into some predicament, and then the story lives on, you know, for years and years to come. And we'd like to share those stories with you because they're entertaining and they're fun.
It really is. This last year we met a baron and a baroness. We met just all kind of extraordinary people, and we met a lot of our friends, which was really cool. We want to bring to you more shorts also. They're quick to consume, and they're entertaining, and we hope that they're enriching also. Just a snippet of news about people that we touch on. And a lot of the shorts come from the, oh my goodness, long interviews that we do with our people. You know, the interviews you see on our weekly channel on Thursdays, early morning Thursdays, they come out. We try to produce those like they're a TV show, and it's a complete story in that aspect. But to get that, we have to do an interview, which is a lengthy process. And Kelly takes out the extemporaneous parts, but it's all available to you soon, coming up. We'll tell you about that in a minute.
So as Jim mentioned to you, these interviews that we do are sometimes an hour long, sometimes even longer than an hour. There's a lot of content in there that's wonderful and fabulous, but it doesn't fit into our 20-25 minute format for our weekly interviews. So what we've decided to do to bring you more content and to build this relationship with you even further is to start a Patreon space,
right,
where we're going to be adding lots of content that will be entertaining, inspiring, educational for you as well. Like for every video that we do, I take that interview and it's a very raw edit that can be 45 minutes long sometimes, that has all the material, it completely uncut all the material in there. And we're calling it our Patreon edits. Those are going to be on our Patreon space. As well, We have blooper reels because nothing ever goes smoothly. And I don't know about you, but I really like blooper reels. I think they're hilarious. So we're going to be doing those. And what else are we going to be putting on the Patreon space?
Well, we have a lot of different things, but most importantly, you're going to be a part of it. So when we launch this Patreon space and you become members on it, grab yourself a cuppa and come down and sit with us at the kitchen table. Absolutely. And just sit down and enjoy it, because we're going to have an interaction with you in many different levels. Here's a few of the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to do behind the scene content, blooper reels, as Kelly alluded to, and Patreon only content with more background and info on the people we've interviewed. We're going to do live Zoom calls to discuss the direction of our channel, and we're going to be doing exclusive polls that you're going to be a part of, that are going to guide us and influence us how we're going to do our upcoming production and interviews. And also on the Patreon channel, Patreon space, we're going to be bringing our own crazy, funny, personal travel stories. We're going to share that with you exclusively on Zoom calls. So if you're a Patreon member, you're going to be able to participate in those Zoom calls.
So stay tuned for that announcement. We're working on the Patreon space right now and getting all that content ready for you. So you'll be the second to know once we get it launched.
Okay, if you haven't gathered by now, we're really excited about season 2 of our YouTube channel and all the peripheral things that's going on in our life. And we're so glad that you're here. We're so glad that we can share this with you, because that's what it's all about. We want to inspire you to have a better life and to help other people have a better life around them. I just want to share this little tidbit that I do every morning. I wake up and I say to them out loud, "This is the best day of my life." And I mean it. And then I close my eyes and say, I hope that I can influence someone else, help them to have a better life, a better day today, so I can fulfill my promise to our Creator. So that's how I start my day. Toot our horn, will you? Beep, beep.
Well, so we're a year old, and that is a big deal. And we've had some accomplishments that we're really proud of. We've got 77 videos between features and shorts published so far. We've had well over 1,000 public watch hours to date. Nearly 20,000 lifetime views so far.
That's good.
Yeah, and as of this publishing right now, we have 164 subscribers. Now, I know that does not seem like very much compared to the vast majority of the channels that are on YouTube right now, but it is a start. We are so excited. And as we're bringing more and more of these interviews to you, something really exciting is happening. And that is that our subscriber count curve has steepened. It's going up very quickly now, which means that we're doing something right. So we're really excited about that. And by the way,
please,
are you one of those subscribers? Because if you haven't subscribed yet, here's your opportunity. Click that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and make sure you're here and you get notified every time we bring new content to you. We have a lot of exciting interviews coming up. We have more of our own crazy stories to tell, and we would love for you to be part of the group sitting around the kitchen table having these conversations.
And if you want to contact us in a more personal way to tell us your thoughts or suggest people for our new interviews, please email us at thekeepers@wawan.org. That's thekeepers with an S, and it's WEWAN.org. We would love to hear your comments on that. Thank you.
And we would like to know you. We want to know more about you. So leave us a comment below. Tell us, where are you watching us from? Or what country are you in? What state are you in? Tell us a little bit about yourself, however you feel comfortable doing so. And let's get the conversation started in the comments below, because this is really all about community.
We are so glad that you're here, and we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. We're so glad that you're here, because without you, we can't do it. So next week we have Della Davis.
Yes, you may know her from our May interview with her, as she was a breast cancer survivor. But there's a lot more to Della than we've told so far. And the video that's coming up next week is her story of her involvement with Honor Flight.
Right. Now, Honor Flight is a very special way that people honor we veterans, taking us to Washington, D.C. and seeing the memorial for whichever branch or whichever battles or combats that we were involved in or our people were involved in. And we get to meet a lot of people, our legislators, and then they bring us back home. And it's a serious, wonderful way to honor the veterans. And we thank you, Della, and all the people of Honor Flight. You know, that's next week, and we have more coming. I guess the only thing I can say about the whole thing now is this is a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Okay.
That's a wrap for season 1. Stay tuned for season 2. We can't wait to show you all of this wonderful content that we have coming. Thanks for being here. We'll see you around the kitchen table next week.
See you there.